4 things in the Edwardian home that could kill you. Before we start, I would want you to hit that red subscribe button so that you never miss out on any of our videos. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Massive Phenomenon. 4. Edwardian-era radium products were all the radioactive rage. In 1898, the isolation of radium by scientists Marie and Pierre Curie immediately grabbed the imagination of the public. Due to being so rare at first, radium was described as the most expensive substance in the world, while the press picked it apart like a Christmas turkey. Despite what they were writing about it, science viewed radium as a super cure for ailments like tuberculosis and cancer. It was also praised by a new mass market called the beauty industry, which claimed radium to be a cure-all for female issues such as unwanted hair, crow's feet, and wrinkles. 2 cases would emerge that brought the beautifying properties of radium to a screeching halt. The first occurred in the States at New Jersey's U.S. Radium Corporation, which first opened in 1917. It had done work for the military during World War I, making luminous dial faces with radium-based paint for instrumentation in vehicles and aircraft. Women were employed to paint these dials and would use their lips to twist the bristles into a point, ingesting radium paint while doing so. After several years of painting close to 1,400 dials in a 55-hour work week, the girls started getting sick. Some would develop radium jaw, a condition that causes the victim's mandible to literally rot from their face. They would be dubbed the Radium Girls, or Legion of the Doomed, and rightly so since 9 of them would be dead within just 7 years. The second case to hit the headlines was the demise of Eben M. Byers, who, after being injured, went to his doctor, who recommended something called Radithor. This was the practice of consuming a premixed amount of radium-laced water that promised to cure many different ailments. 3. Curling irons and Edwardian women's baldness. During the Edwardian age, the Marcel way of styling hair was all the rage for those girls who didn't have wavy hair and was basically the world's first hair straightener. There was also an array of curling irons on the market for those women who had straight hair and had to have those curls. These women would heat the curling devices up in a fire, on the stovetop, or with an alcohol burner designed specifically for that purpose. She would then wrap her hair around the hot device and steam the strands in place to give her those lovely curls she so desperately wanted, but at a higher price than she may wish to pay. The Marcel wave was probably the main inspiration for the invention of German hairdresser Karl Nessler's electric permanent wave machine, which he patented in London in 1909. Yet with perms taking so long and being so expensive, most women couldn't afford it. A permanent option involved the hair being wrapped around rods, the precursors to curlers, and then coating it with substances such as asbestos and highly alkaline pastes. Obviously, this process of high heating with a toxic bath and chemicals was bad for hair. 2. Edwardians used electric tablecloths. Dating back to 1902, the Parkins' wondrous illuminating tablecloth utilized electric wires running along its length inside the lining, with the lamps being plugged directly into the fabric where the prongs would make the electrical contact they needed to work. The Parkins illuminating tablecloth was just one of many crazy electrical contraptions the Edwardian engineers were pumping out then. Electricity was a new and exciting phenomenon that grabbed the imaginations of people all over the world, but none more than the Edwardians, who reveled in it, many times to their deaths. When the electric service they needed to run their electric tablecloth was installed, the electricians used completely bare copper wiring to do it. Without insulation or grounding, the accidental grasping or touching of these bare electric wires killed many people, including a lot of young children. The Edwardians, due to complete ignorance of the dangers involved, would also use adapters with multiple outlets that would plug into a light bulb socket. They would then run just about every electrical device they owned through these adapters, which would overload the circuit, heat up the wiring, and then burst into flames, burning the entire house down. Unfortunately, these events were far too common in Edwardian times, and the newspapers of the day wrote horror stories about them almost daily. 1. The deadly Edwardian electric home. At the turn of the century, there were substantial improvements in the supply of utility services to residential homes. One of the biggest advancements was the adoption of bathrooms with hot and cold running water and fixed gas and electrical appliances that used these exciting new energy sources. Once water mains were installed around England, the difficulty of filling up a bathtub was no longer difficult. Your tub could even heat up the water for you, but you'd better be careful and not fall asleep in your gas-fired bathtub, or you might boil yourself to death like a lobster, as many Edwardians did. The gas-fired bathtub would suffice for personal hygiene, But what about the rest of the Edwardian house? Well, there were several different methods by which Edwardians could kill themselves in their own homes. With electric service available to longtime gas customers, a very lethal combination was created. For example, with gas-fired lighting fixtures and an unsafe electrical wiring system, the frequent gas leaks Edwardians dealt with all the time now became an explosive problem when someone plugged something in or turned something on while oblivious to the tasteless and odorous gas cloud surrounding them and filling up the house. Then boom, the roof goes away. This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss any of our videos in the future. Also, watch the 2 videos that are on your screen because I'm sure you'll love them. With that, I'll see you in the next video.